Have you ever come across an old Canadian quarter and wondered, could this be worth a fortune? Well, hold on tight because today we're diving deep into a coin that might just be sitting in your pocket, completely unnoticed. The 1969 Canadian 25-cent coin may look like an ordinary quarter at first glance, but some versions of it have sold for hundreds, even thousands, of dollars at auctions. That's right. A coin originally worth just 25 cents could turn out to be a hidden gold mine. So, what makes this coin so special? What rare features should you look for? And most importantly, could you be holding a valuable piece of Canadian history? Let's find out. The story of this quarter begins in a time when Canada's coinage was undergoing major transformations. The Royal Canadian Mint, known for its exceptional craftsmanship, continued the legacy of producing high-quality coins, and in 1969, they struck the 25-cent piece using pure nickel. Unlike later versions that contained copper-nickel blends, this coin was made of 99.9% nickel, giving it a distinct metallic luster and a heavier feel compared to modern quarters. But it's not just the material that makes it unique. The design itself is a masterpiece. The obverse features the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait, introduced in 1965, showcases the Queen wearing a tiara, an image that remained on Canadian coins for decades. On the reverse, we see the iconic caribou, an emblem of Canada's wilderness, skillfully engraved by Emmanuel Hahn. This design has been a staple of Canadian quarters since 1937, making it one of the most recognizable coin motifs in the country's history. Now, here's where things get interesting. While millions of these coins were minted, only a handful remain in pristine condition. Most circulated coins have scratches, wear, and discoloration, reducing their value to just face value. But if you're lucky enough to find a 1969 quarter in uncirculated or mint condition, you could be looking at a significantly valuable piece. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are always on the hunt for rare and well-preserved coins. The grading of a coin plays a crucial role in determining its worth. A 1969 Canadian quarter graded MS-65 or higher, meaning it is in near-perfect condition, can command hundreds of dollars in the collector's market. And if you come across one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a jackpot. Let's talk about minting errors, because these are what can make a regular quarter turn into a collector's dream. Some 1969 quarters were struck with die errors, doubling in the lettering, or misalignments that create a unique variation. These types of errors are extremely rare and can skyrocket the coin's value. In fact, similar error coins from the same era have sold for thousands of dollars in auctions. Now, you might be wondering, how do you check if your 1969 quarter is valuable? First, look at the condition. Is it shiny and well-preserved, with little to no signs of wear? If yes, it might be worth getting it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Second, examine it closely under a magnifying glass to spot any unusual features, misprints, double lettering, or off-center strikes. These are all indicators that your quarter might be more than just pocket change. Another factor that influences the value of this coin is its rarity in high grades. While millions were minted, only a few have survived in perfect condition. Over the years, many of these coins have been lost, damaged, or heavily circulated, making pristine examples harder to find. And in the world of coin collecting, rarity drives value. To give you an idea of just how valuable these quarters can be, let's look at some real auction sales. In recent years, certain high-grade 1969 quarters have sold for impressive amounts. Coins graded MS-66 and above have fetched over $1,000 in major numismatic auctions. Some rare error varieties have sold for even higher amounts, proving that even a simple quarter can turn into a collector's treasure. But let's not forget about the sentimental and historical value of these coins. The 1969 quarter represents a significant time in Canadian history, a period of economic growth and cultural change. Owning one of these coins is like holding a piece of the past, a tangible connection to a time when cash was king, and coins were a part of everyday life. If you're interested in coin collecting, the 1969 quarter is a great place to start. It teaches you the fundamentals of numismatics, understanding mint marks, spotting errors, and learning how coin values fluctuate over time. Have you ever held a simple nickel and thought, could this be worth a fortune? Well, buckle up because today we're exploring one of the most underrated but highly valuable coins in American history, the Jefferson nickel. Some versions of this 5-cent piece have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auctions. That's right. A coin that you might have in your pocket right now could be worth far more than just 5 cents. But what makes the Jefferson nickel so valuable? What rare additions and minting errors should you be looking for? And most importantly, could you be sitting on a hidden fortune? Let's find out. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, it features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse, it showcases Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia. This design remained almost unchanged for decades, except for minor modifications and special editions over the years. What really makes this coin exciting for collectors is the rare varieties, minting errors, and wartime silver nickels that were produced during certain years. Some of these versions are incredibly valuable, and if you find one in your collection, you could be looking at a small fortune. One of the most famous Jefferson nickels is the 1939 D version, struck at the Denver Mint. While 1939 nickels are generally common, the Denver minted ones are extremely rare, especially in high grades. Because only a small number were produced, a well-preserved 1939 D Jefferson nickel can sell for thousands of dollars. Another highly sought-after version is the 1950 D Jefferson nickel. This one is special because it had the lowest mintage of any Jefferson nickel, with only 2.6 million produced. At the time, few people saved these coins, making them hard to find today. If you have a 1950 D nickel in mint condition, you could be looking at a coin worth several $1,000s. Then, there are the Silver War nickels, minted between 1942 and 1945. During World War II, nickel was needed for military production, so the U.S. Mint temporarily changed the composition of these coins. Instead of the usual copper-nickel alloy, war nickels were made of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. This makes them highly collectible, especially because silver itself has value. You can identify a wartime silver nickel by looking for a large mint mark, P, D, or S, above Monticello on the reverse. Some of these war nickels are worth far more than their face value, especially in high grades. One of the rarest and most valuable error nickels is the 1943 P3/2 overdate error. This happened when a 1942 die was mistakenly overpunched with a 1943 date, creating a double impression. This error is incredibly rare, and collectors pay thousands of dollars for a well-preserved example. Another legendary error is the 1949 DD/S mint mark error. In this case, a Denver minted coin was struck over a San Francisco mint mark, causing the letters to overlap. If you find this coin in good condition, it could be worth a small fortune. Then there's the 1964 Special Mint Set SMS Jefferson nickel. Regular 1964 nickels are common, but a small number of these coins were made with a special minting process that gave them a proof-like finish. These SMS nickels are so rare that only a handful have ever been found. If you happen to own one, it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Even modern Jefferson nickels have their rare gems. The 2004 and 2005 Westward Journey nickels were minted to commemorate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. These nickels had special reverse designs, including the famous piece metal and buffalo designs. Some of these have minting errors that can increase their value significantly. So, how can you tell if your Jefferson nickel is valuable? First, check the date and mint mark. Coins with low mintages or special varieties tend to be worth more. Second, Look for errors like overdates, double dies, or misplaced mint marks. These mistakes make certain coins incredibly rare. Finally, check the condition. A coin in uncirculated or high-grade condition will always be worth more than a worn-out one. If you think you have a valuable Jefferson nickel, it's a good idea to get it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can significantly increase the value of your coin when selling it. Jefferson nickels are more than just pocket change. Have you ever looked at a simple penny and thought, could this be worth thousands of dollars? Well, get ready to be amazed because today we're diving into one of the most iconic coins in American history, the Lincoln Cent. Some versions of this tiny coin have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auctions. That's right. A coin that was originally worth just 1 cent could turn out to be a life-changing discovery. But what makes the Lincoln Cent so valuable? What rare versions should you be looking for? And could you be holding a fortune in your pocket right now? Let's find out. The Lincoln Cent holds a special place in American history. First minted in 1909, this was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, President Abraham Lincoln. It was introduced to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday, replacing the Indian head penny. Designed by Victor D. Brenner, the coin's obverse or front side showcases Lincoln's profile, a design that has remained on U.S. pennies for over a century. But the reverse or back side of the coin has changed multiple times throughout history. From 1909 to 1958, it featured the famous wheat penny design, with 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent. Then, from 1959 to 2008, the Lincoln Memorial design was introduced to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. In 2009, a special series of 4 different designs was minted to mark Lincoln's bicentennial, showing different phases of his life. Since 2010, the back of the penny features a Union shield, representing Lincoln's preservation of the United States during the Civil War. Now, here's where things get exciting. While billions of Lincoln cents have been minted over the years, some of them are worth far more than their face value. The reason? Rare variations, minting errors, and limited production runs. If you happen to find one of these rare Lincoln cents, you could be holding a collector's dream. One of the most famous and valuable Lincoln cents is the 1909 SVB. This coin was part of the very first batch of Lincoln pennies ever made, and it carries the initials of its designer, Victor D. Brenner. The problem was that some people thought the initials were too large and too prominent on the coin, so the U.S. Mint quickly removed them. As a result, the 1909 SVB penny was minted in very limited numbers. Only about 484,000 were produced. Because of this rarity, a well-preserved 1909 SVB penny can sell for thousands of dollars. But that's just the beginning. One of the rarest and most valuable Lincoln cents ever discovered is the 1943 copper penny. In 1943, during World War II, the U.S. Mint stopped using copper for pennies because copper was needed for wartime supplies like bullets and electrical wiring. Instead, pennies were made from zinc-coated steel. But due to a minting mistake, a few 1943 pennies were struck using leftover copper blanks from 1942. These 1943 copper pennies are so rare that only a handful are known to exist today. If you ever find one, hold on tight. One of these rare pennies sold for over $1.7 million at auction. Another highly sought-after Lincoln cent is the 1955 double-die penny. This coin has one of the most dramatic error variations in U.S. coin history. The doubling on the date and the lettering is so obvious that even without a magnifying glass, you can see the mistake. This happened because the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, creating a double image. The 1955 double-die penny is incredibly rare, and collectors are willing to pay thousands of dollars for one in good condition. The 1972 double-die penny is another exciting error coin. Similar to the 1955 version, this penny has noticeable doubling on the date and lettering, but it's not as dramatic. Still, if you find one in mint condition, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Then, there's the 1992 close AM penny. This one is tricky to spot, but if you do, you might have a valuable coin on your hands. On regular pennies from 1992, the letters A and M in America are spaced apart. But due to a minting variation, some 1992 pennies were made with the letters almost touching. This error is extremely rare, and a well-preserved 1992 closed AM penny can fetch thousands of dollars. Another interesting penny to look for is the 1969 S double die penny. Like the 1955 and 1972 versions, this coin has clear doubling in the date and lettering. The doubling is very strong, making it easy to spot. Because of its rarity, this penny has been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars. When you hold a 1-pound coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II, you're not just holding a piece of metal. The first 1-pound coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II was introduced in 1983 as part of a new series of coins meant to replace the old banknotes. At the time, the introduction of a coin of this value marked a significant moment in British numismatic history. While the earlier versions of British currency had included various denominations, the pound coin in its new form was designed to be practical, durable, and long-lasting. Yet as time went on, it would become something far more valuable, a symbol of royal legacy and a valuable collectible. What makes the 1-pound coin so valuable is not just its age or its symbolic connection to Queen Elizabeth II. It's the rarefied versions, the limited edition coins, and most importantly, the minting errors and commemorative designs that have set certain coins apart. In this script, we'll explore the intricate designs, fascinating stories, and the tangible connection between these coins and the British public's history with Queen Elizabeth II's reign. One of the most captivating features of the 1-pound coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is the portrait of the Queen herself. When the coin was first issued, the Queen's effigy was designed by Mary Gillick, and it was based on the idea of a youthful monarch, fresh in her role as Queen. This portrait appeared on all British coins minted after her coronation in 1953. For many, it's a reminder of the Queen's early reign, her youth, optimism, and the promise of a new era for the British monarchy. However, as time passed, the Queen aged, and so did her image on the coins. The design evolved over the decades, reflecting the Queen's maturity and her growing legacy. The second major portrait, created by Arnold Machin in 1968, remained on British coins for almost 40 years. This image was characterized by a more regal representation of the Queen, looking confident and dignified. Machin's portrait became the most iconic design on British coinage, and it was widely used across many denominations, including the 1-pound coin. As the years went on and Queen Elizabeth II entered the latter stages of her reign, the coin's design would change again to reflect her more mature years. Ian Rank Broadley created a new design in 1998, marking the 50th anniversary of the Queen's coronation. His depiction of the Queen was more dignified, showcasing her majesty and long-standing commitment to her people and country. This effigy has remained on most British coinage ever since, including the 1-pound coin, making it one of the most recognizable and widely used portraits of the Queen. The reverse of the coin has also undergone significant changes over the years. Early designs depicted classic motifs, like the British coat of arms and symbols of the monarchy. However, as Britain entered the modern era, the reverse designs became more intricate and diverse. Coins from the early years of the 21st century featured symbols representing the unity of the United Kingdom. National emblems like the rose, thistle, shamrock, and leek were incorporated into the designs to reflect the four nations that make up the United Kingdom: England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. These symbols added a new level of cultural significance to the coin, connecting it not just to the monarchy, but also to the nation's identity as a whole. The pound coin also saw significant changes in its composition and size over the years. While earlier versions were made of cupronickel, a durable and corrosion-resistant material, the coin's design and durability were improved further in the late 20th century with the introduction of bimetallic coins. The 1997 bimetallic 1-pound coin was a groundbreaking moment in the history of British currency. This coin was created with an inner nickel brass core and an outer cupenicle ring, making it harder to counterfeit. This new bimetallic design remained in circulation until 2016, when it was replaced with a new 12-sided pound coin that was even more secure. The 2017 12-sided pound coin was introduced as part of the government's efforts to combat counterfeit coins, as the previous round pound coin was being widely reproduced illegally. The new design was introduced to ensure the pound's security and to reflect modern standards of coin production. The reverse of the coin features a beautiful design that celebrates the United Kingdom's national symbols: a rose for England, a thistle for Scotland, a shamrock for Northern Ireland, and a leek for Wales. Surrounding these symbols is a coronet, representing the crown. While the regular £1 coin is a staple of everyday life in Britain, some of the rarer editions and commemorative versions have become highly sought after by collectors. The Kenyan 10 shillings coin is not just another piece of currency. It is a symbol of Kenya's rich history, culture, and the economic journey the country has undertaken since its independence in 1963. This particular coin, over the decades, has undergone many changes and has become an integral part of Kenyan society. For collectors, enthusiasts, and even those just interested in the history of money, the Kenyan 10 shilling coin offers a unique insight into the nation's evolution. The Kenyan shilling, first introduced in 1966 after independence from Britain, replaced the East African shilling, which was used by Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. This transition to a new currency marked a significant moment for Kenya as a sovereign nation. Since then, the 10 shilling coin has been in circulation, representing the country's growing economy, its aspirations, and its pride. The very first Kenyan 10 shilling coin issued after independence came in 1966, following the country's adoption of its own currency. This coin, as the first minted under the new Kenyan government, was a significant step in establishing national identity. It was designed with the aim of reflecting the values and sovereignty of a newly independent country. The design of the coin featured a simple but powerful image, representative of the country's aspirations. On one side, the coin depicted the Kenya coat of arms, featuring a shield, 2 lions, and the national motto Harambee. The reverse side showed a numeric representation of 10 shillings, with an elegant yet understated font. The initial 10 shilling coin was made of cupenicle, a durable material that was meant to last for many years in circulation. The coin was first introduced in a relatively modest size, a reflection of the more limited economic circumstances at the time. As Kenya moved into the 1970s and 1980s, the country's economy began to grow, and the design of the 10 shilling coin started to evolve. In the early 1980s, new designs and motifs started to appear on the coin. This was reflective of the changes in Kenya's political and social landscape. The coat of arms continued to appear on the coin's obverse, maintaining the sense of national identity, but with subtle changes in detail. The reverse side of the coin was revised to show an updated numeric value and design features, incorporating elements like local fauna and natural symbols, which were meant to highlight Kenya's cultural richness and natural resources. In 1985, the design of the Kenyan 10 shilling coin underwent a significant change. The introduction of a new coin material, nickel brass, marked the beginning of a trend in which the composition of the coin would evolve to match the country's changing needs. This new material was more durable, had a distinctive yellowish color, and was intended to withstand the wear and tear of daily circulation. It also helped to differentiate the 10 shilling coin from the other coins in circulation. Along with the change in material, the design of the coin became more modernized, incorporating finer details and more intricate engravings. Throughout the late 1980s and early 1990s, the Kenyan 10 shilling coin saw changes that mirrored the country's increasing globalization. As Kenya became more connected to the international community, the coin's design reflected this new era. The reverse side of the coin featured updated depictions of Kenya's economy and achievements, often highlighting the country's burgeoning infrastructure and its role as a regional power in East Africa. While the coat of arms remained a central feature, the reverse of the coin increasingly showcased agricultural and industrial symbols, which spoke to Kenya's economic growth. The early 2000s marked another important era for the 10-shilling coin. Kenya's economy had undergone a series of transformations, and the 10-shilling coin was once again redesigned to reflect these changes. The Republic of Kenya introduced a new set of coins in 2005, including a revamped 10-shilling coin. This time, the design was more modern and complex. The reverse side of the coin featured a rising sun, a symbol of hope and progress for Kenya's future. It was a design that encapsulated Kenya's aspirations, not just in terms of its economy, but in terms of its broader goals as a nation. The rising sun symbolized a new beginning and a brighter future, one that Kenya was striving to build through education, infrastructure, and international cooperation. The obverse of the new 10-shilling coin still carried the coat of arms, but with cleaner lines and a more refined appearance.